This morning we are at the train station and we are getting ready to cross the country all the way to Zugdidi and then to Mestia to visit the SVANETI region of Georgia. So let's go.
Hi, we're Yvonne and Jeremy and we're slow traveling the world on a budget.
Today, we cross the country of Georgia by train and minibus, passing through the unique Megrelian town of Zugdidi before ending up smack dab in the middle of the gorgeous mountains of the upper SVANETI region.
We woke up at 6:30, we slept at 2, so I'm really tired. I'm ready to sleep on the train.
This morning we're taking the express fast train from TBILISI, crossing the country all the way over to Zugdidi. It's going to take just under 6 hours, and then after that we're going to spend half a day in Zugdidi and then catch a Marshrutka tomorrow to go to Mestia to explore the SVANETI region. So from what we noticed, Georgian trains are really clean, but they're pretty simple. There's no dining cards, no real amenities offered, so you need to bring your own water and your own food to last you throughout the whole train journey. The train pretty much runs on time. These daytime trains, you sit in fairly comfortable, clean seats, and you pass by different landscapes and views of Georgia as you cross from TBILISI to Zugdidi. Right when you get to Zugdidi, there are Marshrutka and taxi drivers waiting to whisk you off to Mestia, which is the hub of the SVANETI region for those that are going in that direction. And we are, but we decided to break up the long travel day by spending a half day here in Zugdidi before making our way to Mestia tomorrow. So we stopped by this nice little guest house. It's clean, it's affordable, and we're getting ready to go grab a meal and walk around Zugdidi a little bit more before we rest up in preparation for our Marshrutka ride tomorrow. If you choose to go from TBILISI to Mestia in one day, it's a 6.5-hour train ride plus another 3 to 4 hours in a Marshrutka, or you can choose to take a 9-hour Marshrutka that goes straight from TBILISI to Mestia. Either way, it's a really long travel day, so we decided to split it up a little bit and check out a little bit of Zugdidi.
Walking just a few minutes outside of our guest house, we found a lively local bazaar with fresh fruits and vegetables, numerous products, and friendly vendors.
Zugdidi.
Yeah, super.
SVANETI.
Zatra.
Zatra. Oh, молодец! America. SVANETI è Chqmeruli. Zugdidi super.
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 Yeah, it's raining really hard. It was like a flash rain.
And then it chilled out a little bit. We're going to try Megrelian cuisine.
So this is the Megrelian Khachapuri. This one looks kind of like a cheese pizza with some torch cheese on top and cheese filling. I would say that this is very similar to a cheese pizza compared to the other khachapuris that we've tasted. This one is probably lighter and it's not super gooey or oily. I actually really like it because for the other khachapuris, I can't really eat more than one slice, maximum 2 slices, but I can see myself eating more of this just because it's not super heavy.
So we ordered the beet leaf with walnut, which is supposed to come out kind of red looking, but I think there was something lost in translation, and instead we have this. It looks kind of like tuna, but I'm not really sure what it is, so let's try it. It's a strong walnut taste, but I actually can't really tell what the walnut is mixed with.
Oh, it's a little bit spicy. I think it might be some pepper mixed with walnut. I actually think that this is a good mistake because I like spicy things. So this is really good.
The walnut paste has this nuttiness plus a little kick from the spice. Oh, that is glorious. I mean,
So the waiter came and showed us how to pull apart the Elarji, and we also topped it with some Kharcho with walnuts. Don't really know how to eat this. Elarji is cheese with cornmeal. So that kind of explains the stringiness of this dish. Oh, this is really good. It's very chewy. I think the texture is like bubblegum, but then the taste of it is like very good cheese, like that you could just keep chewing for a long time. The Kharcho with walnuts. This is kind of like a stewed beef with a walnut paste soup. The beef is tender, it's seasoned very well. This is very, very tasty, very delicious. Wow.
oh my gosh. Oh. I don't think I've ever had anything quite like this. It's like stringy and gooey, but so delicious. And the walnut paste sauce with the beef is just very rich and fragrant. Yum. We also got the Shqmeruli, which is like a fried chicken in a buttery garlic sauce. It looks great. It just came apart when I put some pressure on it. The butter and the garlic flavors are very strong, and the chicken is moist. Wow, this is a very rich and delicious dish.
Oh no, this one I won't do. This one I won't do.
So we finished our sumptuous Megrelian meal at Diaroni, which we would highly recommend. The food was just delicious and it was a great introduction into the cuisine of this area. So we're actually in the Megrelo region of Georgia now, and so we ate Megrelian food for dinner, and now we are visiting the Dadiani Palace complex. A lot of Georgia was ruled by kings and queens prior to when imperialist Russia took over here in the 1860s. And so these palaces belonged to the monarchy prior to that time.
There's so many dogs behind us. They're just following us. We're being followed. Okay, no, don't eat this. Don't eat this. You can't eat this. It's not for you to eat. This palace here is actually a museum during the day, but in the nighttime, in the evening time, the area around it is free for you to walk around. today we stopped by the bazaar and we got these Churchkhelas. They kind of look like sausages, but these are actually sweet, and they call this the Georgian Snickers. This string here connects all the nuts inside, and then the nuts are dipped into a sugar juice syrup, and then over time it dries out like this. So this one, the sugar on the outside kind of crystallized, so that's why it's kind of powdery and white. I don't know how to pull it out. Like that. Oh. This is so good. Wow, this is so good. Oh, I love this. This is really good. I guess I was like maybe a little bit hesitant to try it just because it's just usually hung like sausages, so it doesn't really look very appetizing. Wow, this is really good. The walnuts are nice and fresh. Like it doesn't taste old at all. Like it tastes really fresh and crunchy. And then outside is coated with this sugary syrup, gummy-like thing. I think this might be apricot flavor.
I like this. It's not that sweet, so it's a good snack. You can eat it without feeling guilty. And the walnuts are fresh and crunchy. This might be known as a Georgian Snickers bar, but it's definitely healthier.
So we asked the lady which one's the best one, and apparently she recommended this one. I'm guessing this is hazelnut covered in grape juice. Ooh.
The hazelnut was bigger, and there's a thicker coating. And the coating does have a licorice texture. None of these items are super sweet, and so it makes for a good, nice, light snack.
This is a sheet of fruit leather, or dried fruit.
Rip it, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Not super sweet. Tiny bit sweet. Actually a little bit bitter. I can't really tell what flavor this is, but judging by the color, I think it should be strawberry, but it's not a very strong strawberry taste.
Alright, trying this fruit leather. It like feels and looks like paper. Yeah, it doesn't taste like there's added sugar. For once, I think I'm agreeing with Yvonne, and I think the walnut one is my favorite. So now we're back at a guest house after a full day of traveling by train and walking around a little bit, exploring Zugdidi a little bit, as well as eating Megrelian food. And we're gonna get some rest before we wake up early tomorrow morning to take a Marshrutka to our final destination of Mestia. See you then.
Okay, good morning everyone. We're going to be continuing our travel day to Mestia. So right now we're just waiting for a few more passengers to get on the Marshrutka, and then we'll be on our way.
Our guest house took us to a separate stand because the train station only has Marshrukas to Mestia right after the train arrives. This stop with this sign is just right down the street from the bazaar that we were at yesterday. We waited for about 2 hours for the Marshrutka to fill up, and then we got on the road for about an hour. So we started climbing up into the mountains, and now there are low-hanging clouds. So you can see some of the mountains with the glaciers in the background, but still waiting to see more.
How many hours?
4 hours?
4 hours.
After 4 hours of bumpy Marshrutka ride, we finally arrived here in Mestia, which is like the hub for visiting the Upper SVANETI area. So we're excited. We're gonna walk over to our guest house and then see what we can do this afternoon.
In this lovely bathroom, there is a very great view. After 4 hours of very bumpy and windy car ride, we're finally here in Mestia in the SVANETI region. So right now we're going to go up to the cable car to see if it's open. Behind the scenes of getting the perfect photo. Be careful, Jeremy. It's actually not a cable car, it's a ski lift. I think that's why our guest house host was like, the lift. Well, she was speaking Russian, but the only thing I could pick up was that there was a lift. And this is a lift.
And it looks like they just closed because it says it works till 4:30 and that's in 3 minutes from now.
No.
The windows are already closed.
It's 20 lari per person. I guess we're not going up today, maybe another day.
Even though we didn't get to go all the way up to the ridge to see the scenic views, we did still get scenic views. From the starting point of the ski lift, you can see the town of Mestia and some of the beautiful mountain ridges behind you, some of the lush green fields with the cows grazing in the background, which reminds us we're hungry since we haven't had a full meal today, and we're gonna go look for some Svan food.
So right now we're here for dinner. We're at Café Panorama. It really, really does have a very, very nice panoramic view of the mountains. So for dinner today we got the Kubdari, which is baked bread with meat filling. I believe it's lamb. And we also got chicken with green plum sauce. So apparently only this restaurant in Mestia has it, and our waitress highly, highly recommended this dish. So of course we got it. So I'll be trying the Kubdari, which is native to the Svan region. Maybe because I'm really hungry, but this is really good. It kind of has that baked bread finish on the top. On the bottom, it soaks up all the sauce from the meat. So the meat is salty, it has some onions in it. It just goes really well with the rest of the bread.
All right, now I'm trying some of this chicken with the green plum sauce. It looks like it has some dill on top. The green plum sauce kind of reminds me of like Mexican chile verde. So the chicken skin is crispy and the chicken itself is very, very moist. And that green plum sauce kind of gives a tart taste to the whole dish. It brings it together and it's just a nice, savory, comforting bite of food. Yeah.
This sauce is so good. It's like that sour tanginess of that plum mixed with like chicken juice. Oh, it's so good. What I started doing is dipping my bread in the sauce and it just soaks it all up. So good. Oh, it's so good.
All right, so it's been a full 2 days traveling all the way here to Mestia, but it is so worth it. It is so beautiful, calm, and peaceful here, and we can't wait to explore this area for the next few days. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to follow along as we continue exploring the SVANETI region here in Georgia. See you next time.